Hey guys, let me first apologise how late this video is coming out. I had a pretty jam-packed weekend with my trip to Sydney to see the girls play as well as also do some other touristy things there. I got home pretty late and then to make matters worse, my computer decided to crash, so I had to rewrite the script on my work computer to try and get it all done. Hopefully I can get the computer working in time to edit this video so you're not just getting the raw footage of this, but fingers crossed that all works. Let's instead talk about the game because, well, it was a pretty solid ending to the season. Like, it's unfortunate we haven't made finals, and unfortunately we are out, but the girls definitely had a good game. Well, later, because obviously initially we had that first quarter where I think it was GWS kicked 2 goals to, I think maybe a behind or two for us. It was, not a good quarter. But then the second quarter happened and we just tore up the game with, I think it might be our team best 6 goals in one quarter. That was insane. Let me know, people, if we've had more goals in one quarter because that was insane. And obviously, one of the big players in that goal-scoring tirade was Indy Tahau, who I believe going into this game had already won the leading goal kicker award because I don't think anyone got to 23 out of the Melbourne and Hawthorn game or even the Melbourne game afterwards. But Indy still kicked a 2, and I was nice enough to make this poster that I could rip off the numbers to reveal the next number up. A cool little gimmick, but unfortunately the team at Fox decided not to zoom in on me and my poster, which sucks. They're so boring. Channel 7 would have done that, but no, Fox has to be the boring channel, unfortunately. But regardless, even though we kind of went in with this whole expectation of celebrating Indy, she did end up being the goal kicker that everyone talked about because Gemma Houghton kicked her 100th AFL career goal. Like, she was on 96 and needed 4, and she got 2 in that tirade of the second quarter. Then she got a lucky downfield free kick. But the one that everyone's going to talk about, that mark with 2 seconds left to go, right in front of me. I was right on the boundary. You could actually see me behind, holding up, because I actually made a poster for Gemma as well, which I stuck on the back of the Indy one as an afterthought, like literally best afterthought I ever had. And I think if we're lucky, I have some footage my friend sent me of me just absolutely losing it when Houghton got that goal. Oh my God. Truly one of the best AFLW games I have ever been to. That experience was incredible. However, I will say I was annoyed with one thing when it became clear that Houghton was 1 goal away from getting 100. I do feel like there was a singling out of Houghton. Like, we must get the ball to Houghton. And I think there was several goals that we could have got in that fourth quarter if we were actually, going for goals and not going for Gemma Houghton. And when we needed to win by 100, and we were already dominating the game quite well, a part of me thinks, what if we didn't single out Houghton and just went for goals? And in that case, could we have gotten that? But maybe I'm setting expectations high. Like, winning by 100 is not something you can do unless you're North Melbourne. So, look, perhaps I should just be happy that we went for the Houghton strategy to get her fairy tale ending rather than trying to actually keep our final series alive in a very unlikely situation. But regardless, we also need to talk about some other players because obviously, the usuals are pretty good. Dowrick was good, Goody was good, Schultz was good, but obviously the player who's been just tearing up our team at the end of the season is none other than Jasmine Stewart, who's had a 3rd stellar game in a row. She was obviously amazing against the Hawks, incredible in that play against Crows, and once again amazing here with her 2nd goal in Port Colours. She's never kicked a goal for Port before, and then she kicked one last week, and now she's kicked another this week. She is absolutely tearing up the midfield at the moment. So great. Also, another player doing really well, Ella Heads. Now, obviously, former Sydney player, Henson Park's probably her second home from home, so obviously amazing. Had another goal. Probably could have had three if she didn't get unlucky with those two behind. So another game. She's been really just a solid recruit all year, popping up from time to time. But someone who hasn't had a chance to play all year and did have a fun game was Julia Teakle. If you don't know, Julia Teakle was probably my favourite player from last year. The first game I ever watched Port Adelaide women's play was the one where she kicked 4 at the G. And obviously she wasn't kicking 4 today, but she did get a nice 2 goals early on. It's just nice that she was able to get something out of this season when others weren't. Obviously, we just saw the news that former captain Janelle Cuthbertson is announcing her retirement, which is really unfortunate for someone who didn't get to play this year because of an ACL. But it was at least nice that Teakle was able to get something out of the season, even if it is just one game. But it was one game where I think she was definitely a key part of our forward line, along with obviously our beloved Gemma Houghton and official first ever Port Adelaide leading goal kicker, Indy Tahau. Now Port Adelaide can get off that unfortunate category, although, people that don't treat the AFLW the same as the AFL are still going to say we're missing that Coleman. But regardless, we have to admit the fact we didn't make finals. We did get our percentage over 100. We're back over 100. That's good. We've kicked more than we've had scored against us. But it sucks. It's funny. The scores went our way. Like, West Coast lost, even though I didn't think they were going to. And then Sydney, I don't know, Essendon somehow kept Sydney. So we finished on the same number of wins as 8th place West Coast. We just did not have the percentage. It's just depressing just to know that one win, had we just held off St Kilda for that quarter, had that umpire in the Geelong game not being an idiot, and had Indy Tahau been put up forwards in the Freo game, we probably could have won and we would be in finals next week. But alas, you have to deal with the fact that we came one game short of the final. But even though we're out, I'll obviously keep covering the finals through my round prediction videos. So stay tuned for that later this week. As for Port Adelaide, I'll obviously do a season review to sort of cover how the team went all around and where we should be going next year. But until then, enjoy the finals if you're able to enjoy games that Port Adelaide's not in, and we'll be just singing in the off season. Let's go Power.